The war enters its deadliest stage. Soul Society faces total annihilation. Can Ichigo's new power change their fate, or is this the end? Let's recap everything from Bleach Thousand-Year Blood War, Part 2. The story continues at the Royal Palace, where Ichibei tells Ichigo that, despite his improved strength, he is still not strong enough to defeat Yhwach. Ichigo is then sent to a secluded area to confront the depths of his own power and identity in an isolated, intense training session. At the same time, Renji and Rukia recover and train under the Royal Guard's care, undergoing rigorous training to regain strength and hone their abilities. Byakuya also finally recovers at the hot spring. Meanwhile, in the Vandenreich, Yhwach names Ishida as his successor, shocking all the Quincies. Afterwards, Ishida takes part in a ritual, solidifying his allegiance and awakening his power. Finally, the Vandenreich attack again, engulfing Seireitei with a massive shadow dome, marking Yhwach's second invasion and his vow to annihilate the Soul Society within 9 days. Haschwalth orders the Sternritter to hunt down captains and lieutenants who have lost their Bankai, aiming to completely shatter the Soul Reaper's morale. Fierce battles erupt across the city. Toshiro and Rangiku face Bazby's flames, coordinating their attacks and defenses, but both end up heavily injured. At the same time, Omaida defends his sister from BG9 until Sui Feng arrives to help. Yet despite her efforts, BG9's relentless explosions defeat her, showcasing the overwhelming disparity without Bankai. Askin infiltrates Squad 12's Research and Development Institute and reveals the "we're here" from the beginning. Mayuri arrives and reveals his laboratorium isn't safe. Askin wisely retreats and say they will lose. Kyoraku confronts Haschwalth at Squad 1, noting his calm, strategic confidence amidst the bloodshed. When Haschwalth wants to strike, Nanao raises a shield that temporarily nullifies Quincy powers. Meanwhile, Mayuri receives a crucial message from Urahara, who reveals the Quincy's fundamental weakness to Hollow Rishi and explains a countermeasure: special pills that briefly hollowify a Soul Reaper's Bankai, preventing Quincy medallions from sealing it. With this knowledge, they begin distributing the pills, reigniting hope for the Soul Reapers. Just as Kangdu moves in for the killing blow, Toshiro regains his Bankai. Rising with renewed strength, he turns the tide of battle. Sui Feng experiences the same reversal in her fight against BG9, reclaiming her Bankai. They both ends victorious. Shinji also activates his Bankai, plunging the Quincy soldiers into confusion and causing them to attack one another, collapsing the battlefield into chaos. He then clashes with Bambietta, whose frustration mounts as her perception is twisted. In response, she unleashes her Vollständig, transforming into a winged form with devastating explosive power, marking the Quincy's counterattack. The battle in Seireitei escalates as the Sternritters unleash their ultimate form, Vollständig. Bambietta's explosions leave Shinji badly injured. Before she can finish him, Komamura steps in. He uses the forbidden Jinka technique, transforming into a temporarily immortal human warrior. With his new Bankai immune to her blasts, he crushes Bambietta with a decisive blow, but the cost is severe. Komamura loses his heart and reverts to a mindless wolf, carried toward Yhwach by his loyal lieutenant, Iba. At the same time, Haschwalth breaks through Nanao's shield, but she quickly raises another. Just as he prepares to break through again, he retreats. The battle continues as Masked Demasculine fights Lieutenants Hisagi, Ikkaku, and Yumachika. Their combined effort restrains him briefly, but James' cheers boost his power, making him nearly unstoppable. Just as he defeats them, Kensei and Rose arrive. Kensei uses his Bankai, landing explosive blows, but Mask recovers and overpowers him. Rose follows with his sound-based Bankai, yet Mask shatters his own eardrums to break the illusion and retaliates with Starflash, critically wounding Rose. As he readies the final strike, a sudden Renji blocks. Renji and Rukia return to the devastated Seireitei, their Zanpakuto mastery and power greatly enhanced. Renji immediately confronts Masked Demasculine, slashing James as he begins duplicating. Mask activates his Vollständig, attacking Renji with incredible speed and strength, but Renji unveils the true form of his Bankai. With ruthless precision, he overwhelms Mask, leaving the battlefield in ruins. Renji stands victorious, his power undeniable, while Rukia tends to the fallen. After Ichigo finished with his training hurdles down from the Royal Palace, Rukia faces S-Nut, who attacks with his Thorn of Fear, but she counters by unveiling her Shikai, mastered to absolute zero, lowering her body temperature below freezing and rendering his ability useless. She traps him in ice, yet he shatters free and reveals his monstrous Vollständig, ensnaring her in a dome of fear. Byakuya arrives, destroying the prison with Senbonzakura. Encouraged, Rukia unleashes her Bankai, freezing S-Note solid and shattering him, achieving complete victory under Byakuya's watch. The focus shifts to Isane tending the injured when Gwenaël attacks, erasing both his presence and his opponent's memory of him. Trusting her instincts, Yachiru counters with her Shikai, summoning 2 spiritual beasts to strike alongside her blade. It's revealed that Gwenaël was merely a construct of Gremmy, who erases him with a thought and with a single touch, damages Yachiru's arm. Kenpachi then arrives and the real battle begins. Using his brute strength, he dodges all of Gremmy's attacks. When Gremmy summons a colossal meteor to annihilate everything below, Kenpachi cleaves it in 2, scattering harmless debris. In desperation, Gremmy imagines himself with Kenpachi's strength, but the sheer power overwhelms him. His body collapses under the weight of his own vision until nothing remains. Afterwards, Kenpachi stands amidst the ruins, only for Candace to strike with lightning. Lil Todo, Meninas, and Giselle join her, and the 4 Sternritters launch a coordinated attack, burying Kenpachi under a mountain of rubble, believing they have won. Before they can act further, a massive spiritual pressure descends over the battlefield. Ichigo arrives, he lands directly before the Femritters, while damaged Kenpachi leaving the fight in Ichigo's hands. The Femritters immediately attack again, but Ichigo easily overpowers them despite their powers. Just then, other Sternritters, like Baz B, confront him. Yhwach's true plan comes into focus. The Quincy King had anticipated Ichigo's return, using his immense power to breach the defenses, protecting the Soul Society's sky. The Sternritters attempt to stop Ichigo from following Yhwach, but Renji and other Shinigamis arrive just in time to help him escape and pursue the Quincy King. Seeing Ishida with the enemy, Ichigo demands an explanation, but his former comrade remains silent, cold, and resolute. Without warning, Ishida fires a volley of spiritual arrows, licked Reagan directly at Ichigo. Orihime arrives, erecting her Sogo Kessen shield to block the deadly assault, while Chad stands beside her. Yhwach, Ishida, and Haschwalth pass through the breach, beginning their invasion of the Soul King Palace. The shockwave throws Ichigo and his friends back, their shock intensified by the betrayal of someone they trusted. Then Urahara appears and takes them to Mayuri's labor, where Mayuri already built a cannon, which is like Kukaku have. Thanks to Quincy's Ryatsu, they can use as power for the cannon, which was collected by Hiyori's team and brought it by Yoruichi. Yoruichi and Ganju joins to them too, and they begin their fly to the Royale Palace. Renji and Rukia engage Baz B in a heated clash, trading insults over his flamboyant hair and the destructive scale of their powers. Baz B responds with his devastating Burner Finger 4. Meanwhile, Ikkaku and Yumachika confront Giselle, but suddenly they are attacked by Bambietta, now turned into a zombie. They try to subdue her, but her explosive attacks overwhelm them. Just before Giselle can zombify them as well, Mayuri arrives. Bambietta rushes him, but is quickly defeated by his bombs. Giselle then unleashes her Shinigami zombie army, only for Mayuri to counter with his revived Arankars, who overpower her forces. The battle is suddenly interrupted by zombie Toshiro, who easily defeats Ikkaku and Yumachika and turns on Mayuri. Toshiro repeatedly kills Mayuri, but the captain's drugs reset him to the moment of each death. Mayuri begins experimenting on him, but the fight is interrupted again when zombie Rangiku, Kenshi, and Rose appear. In the end, Mayuri successfully takes control of them, adding them to his own zombie army. In a short flashback from centuries ago, a young Yhwach confronted Ichibe, who effortlessly blocked him and explained that as long as the Soul King exists, the Almighty remains dormant. Yhwach, Haschwalth, and Ishida break through the Royal Palace's layers, reaching the main Citadel platform, where they are confronted by Senjumaru. Sternritter Nianzol appears, but Senjumaru instantly sews his cloth together with her needles, killing him with them. Yhwach then unveils his elite guard, Lille, Gerard, Pernida, and Askin, while Lille seemingly strikes down Senjumaru. However, the truth is revealed. The platform and guards were only a decoy. The real Royal Palace, the Soul King Palace, emerges along with the full Royal Guard. Nemaya steps forward, showing his unmatched skill as he effortlessly cuts down the elite guard in flawless combat, demonstrating the true might of the Royal Guard. Despite the devastating loss, Yhwach remains calm and teleports outside the trap. Haschwalth and Ishida engage the Royal Guard, while Askin poisons Nemaya. Believing he has won, Askin is countered when Kirinji uses his hot spring water to alter Nemaya's blood, turning the tables once again. Meanwhile, Yhwach faces Ichibe, who strikes first with Senritsu Tensho, crushing Yhwach with a massive hand and even halving his power by erasing his very name. Back in Seireitei, Yhwach activates Auswählen, draining the life and abilities of his fallen Sternritter. Their power flows into him, revitalizing the Quincy King and empowering his elite guard into their ultimate Vollständig forms. Recognizing the overwhelming threat, Nemaya, Kiryu, and Kirinji sacrifice themselves to undo the seals on their true abilities. This allows Senjumaru to unleash her Bankai, weaving a vast reality-warping tapestry that traps the Quincy in personalized prisons. Pernita was swallowed by black sand, Leela's attacks reflected, Askin bound in blades, Gerard frozen, Haschwalth engulfed in flames, and Ishida drained of his powers. The season ends as Ichibe activates his Bankai, rewriting Yhwach's very existence. With relentless force, Ichibe crushes him and casts him down from the palace, leaving Yhwach seemingly defeated. If you want more recaps like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know what anime you want to see next.